Good evening to all of you are present here on the dais and off the dais. It's a total women's session, as you can understand. So I'll quickly introduce my esteemed panelists. Ma'am Pooja Priyamvada, Director, Academics and Collaborations, IIMM Delhi. Then Ma'am Bhavna Batra, Vice President, S&P Global, Gurugram, India. Ma'am Megha Kaushik, Head Supply Chain and Finance, Patanjali Food Limited, Haridwar, and Ma'am Teena Rawal, Head Strategy and Alliance, FPSB India from Mumbai. So this is a session regarding engaging communities, the power of collective actions for sustainability. This is the last session for today, and we are waiting for our award ceremony. So we'll just make it a short one. So my first discussion with Pooja ma'am, that ma'am, what do you think about the power of collective actions from the media houses when we are going towards the sustainability? How the media can influence the sustainability?
Good afternoon, everybody. Um, I'll come in a minute to how media can influence it, but let me bring some data to the table. So one chat GPT query consumes 10 times more energy than one Google query. 20% of the world's electricity is right now being used by these AI energies across the world. Where are we going in terms of media or parenting or education? An AI revolution is needed. The media is one of the first industries to go into AI largely. You all must have seen robots reading your evening news. And just to make that robot work, we have about a team of 40 people behind the scene every day and about 120 odd software systems that make that one chat or robot on your screen alive. So I believe it is a collective responsibility of the society to bring sustainability into a picture. We live in a world of ironies. There's a flower pot and a plastic bottle sitting side by side on my table right here. I do commend the lot of initiatives that Christ University must have undertaken for sustainability. But right across the road, there is a community, there is a habitation. Are they sustainable? Sustainability cannot happen in pockets. And as media, our responsibility is that we are delivering those messages. What I feel before I listen to the other speaker, I believe that media is giving the wrong messages out. We are the ones who are propagating a non sustainable world. We are undermining the importance, as the Honorable Ambassador just said, of a lot of traditional practices and the traditional values that were more sustainable for the planet and for individuals. So, media, I think, needs to rethink, but media is just again a part, a small part, and so is academia of this entire ecosystem, which is largely going towards convenience and not sustainability. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for such a nice deliberation. My next question or the next humble submission to Ma'am Bhavna. Ma'am, do you think that strategic implementation from the corporate regarding sustainability will improve the situation? Is it collective sustainability or a corrective one? What we can do?
Thank you so much. It's so interesting that we do this segregation between different categories, right? So, for instance, over here, the segregation is between academia and corporate. At the end of the day, let's come down to the fact that we are humankind. It doesn't matter what badge we wear. It doesn't matter whether we are, in the world of academia or we are in the world of corporate and industry. What matters is what choices we are making as individuals, right? And we have to start reflecting on ourselves because organizations are nothing but a reflection of our societal context. So, whether it is sustainability or the previous panel was talking about ethics, I think these have become really catchy phrases and buzzwords, right? If we really want to think of sustainability, we need to start asking ourselves really tough questions. Let me take a very simple example. This conference that is being conducted, what is the carbon footprint of this conference? How far have each one of us traveled to be here? What is the time that we are spending on meaningful deliberation? What is the value add that we have from this? And what is the impact to the planet? So let's not talk about one versus the other. To your question, it always has to be collective. Because if it is not collective, we will be focusing on symptoms and not the true problem. The true problem is that we're focusing on convenience. The true problem is we're focusing on efficiency in our context. That context sometimes is as a university, sometimes is as an organization, but more basic, it's as human beings, as families. So, how many of us really practice waste segregation and actually think about it? Maybe it's about the fundamental questions that we ask. That's where the change needs to be.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Such a nice answer of my question. Next, ma'am Megha Kaushik, head supply chain finance. Ma'am, what do you think about your perception through corporate and academia that what should be the sustainable practices we should practice even in corporate?
Yeah, thank you, ERDA, and thank you, Mr. R.K. Mishra, for this opportunity. I'll just quickly bring down myself to about the practices that we do in reality in Patanjali, of course. Of course, the name Patanjali is more enticing than the deliberation I'm going to be put forward to. So I'll just begin with this. Now, I'll take an excerpt from the past discussion that happened just 30 seconds before. It's just that it's not about a lone corrective. It's not about a lone collaborative. It has to be in tandem both. Now, if I talk about a corporate can indulge itself into ESG sort of practices, wherein the vendors are being classified on the ESG matrix, the kind of procurement that we guys are doing, the kind of manufacturing processes we guys are having. So if I talk about a corporate, you can have a parameter for getting your CO2 sequestered. For instance, 119,000 tons of CO2 has been sequestered in Patanjali. That's all available in the public domain. If I talk about further how Patanjali is helping about or how a corporate can help about, yes, we have an oil palm plantation for around 74,000 hectares, just directly benefiting around 57,000 farmers. Now, having a sustainable palm oil cultivation, having a kernel oil cultivation, having a mix of everything, that turns out to be in a loophole, creating circular economy. That is what we guys are envisaging as a corporate. So it's like if you have any sort of a waste that has to be recycled, that has to be used. Of course, these stories were actually coined long back. But then gradually the corporates are themselves, volunteering to practice all the circle economy practices in their organizations. And definitely this is the kind of the collective effort along with, new practices. And then of course, the consumption pattern at the consumer level has to undergo a little bit of change. For example, we all consume oil on daily basis. Now that oil is being procured every month in form of pearl pet jars, say 5 liters, 15 liters, or 1 liter of your pack. Now, what if a kind of, how do you say that, a dairy product, a kind of a van, oil van is being circulated in localities wherein you can refill your 1 liter jar of 5 liters. That is a sustainable thing. So we all can collaborate in tandem with the, you can say the corporate, and definitely achieve the sustainable economy that we guys are envisaging. Thank you.
Thank you. The last one to Ma'am Teena Rawal. Ma'am, what do you think about that? How can you engage the communities or you can channelize the community at a whole for this sustainable process?
Very well question. Before I come to answer the question, firstly, thank you so much, ERDA and Christ University, for having me here and giving this opportunity and speaking on such a wonderful topic, which has, recently taken the center stage all of a sudden across the world. Sustainability is not a new thing. It came to picture in 1972, but why are we, focusing extremely, keeping it as extremely priority nowadays has got few pointers to it. So we have been speaking about it all day long, and it's simple. We need to kind of take informed decisions. We need to be very effective and productive in terms of how we can ensure that we achieve our current goals without disturbing or ensuring that our future generations can do the same when it comes to them. And in order to do that, we need to create or have a sustainable future for our future generations to come. Now, the easiest way to do is to create a future, to have a safer future, and that is why all of us are here put together from different industries and areas to make sure that how we can do it and take it forward to our future generation. Now, does that mean that we haven't been doing it so far? No. The government has been doing amazing in terms of when it comes to implementing the sustainability aspect into each and every steps that are being taken by the corporates are doing amazing job in terms of 90% of the listed companies are ESG compliant. So of course they are doing wonderfully. Does the education playing their part good enough? Of course, yes, the industry academia gap has reduced to a greater extent. We are looking at creating, designing new curriculum, and also teaching our students the importance of ethics we just spoke about in our previous discussions, and not just the ethics, but also the importance of sustainability. So we are making them learn how to walk the talk. So everybody individually is doing there. What is important is the collective action. Now, why after doing all of that, why is it becoming difficult when it comes to SDGs? India is still 100 and on the 109th position out of 166 countries. Is it that difficult? After doing all of that, we are still at 109th position, which is a yellow gray area for us to work upon. So then what is needed, coming back to where you started, ma'am, is that we need the speed. And when it comes to speed, then again it's a controversial situation that when you want to achieve something at a greater speed, you tend to avoid things which are majorly impacting our sustainability, and all the three pillars, the important three pillars of sustainability, when it comes to the environment, when it's come to the society, or when it comes to the economics part of it. Why do we do it? That's a human nature. It's not fault of any sector, be it academia, be it industry, be it government, be it policymakers, be it us, the standard setting bodies, things and so on. It's a basic human nature that when you have to reach a destination faster than the given time, you will take the easiest route, or you will take the fastest route with lesser hurdles. And when we do that, we sideline the importance of or the elements that are required for us to do in order for us to build a sustainable Viksit Bharat by the set deadline. And that is why these challenges are there. So from today onwards, and you mentioned that why have we traveled here, what is this that is going to out of it? It will only be impactful if we decide that from here on, whatever we discussed in the entire session today, we take it to our lives, we take it to the grassroots level, we ensure that in our individual doings as well, collectively as different sectors as well, and in our day-to-day life, even our personal lives and our professional lives, we keep thinking about what we can contribute, how we can contribute towards making it a better world, and to reverse what we have already done. The damages, Delhi's recent incidents has been one of the alarming situations that came to us and told us that whatever you are doing, firstly, we woke up late. Secondly, with the speed that we are working is not the speed that is going to help. So we need to speed up and we need to come together, and then only we'll be able to make it a little more fruitful.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. So any question from the audience? Any question from anyone? If you want to ask, otherwise I'll sum up the session. It's a nice session and a short but crisp deliberation regarding the community engagement. Now we can state that it's an individual action, individual corrective measures that can lead to the community sustainability. So with this all, I'll just close the session and thank to all my eminent panelists for such a short and nice deliberation. Thank you all. Thanks.
Thank you so much, everyone. I now request Dr. Neeraj Verma, Fellow Member of ERDA, Director, Hijia College of Pharmacy,